everyone. Hi Danielle. Hi Kate. Hello Kimberly. Hi Sandy. You might be able to hear the television in the background. I've got my little one just on the other side there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Excellent. How is everybody on this fine day? I hope you're all fine and well. I am here for a while doing some free readings with my deck as usual, so it's lovely to see you all here again. There will be a couple of live feeds again next week as well, so don't forget to join me for those. And just before I start this evening, guys, the tarot course is on tomorrow, the oracle course is on Sunday. Not too late to book in for those, so if you'd like to join me, 4 hours for the tarot, 3 hours for the oracle course on Sunday. And that's basically just being able to learn to read your deck intuitively. So would love to have you join us. Alright, so guys, no pregnancy, no legal, no health questions. Please feel free to comment more than one time. Don't smash the feed. Danielle, I shall like to read for you first. Let's have a go. Alright. Lower. Notices I'm sitting here. Alright, Danielle. Nice. I actually feel ideas, plans coming to fruition with you when I sit with your energy, Danielle, and I feel like these are plans that are kind of not quick plans. Like I feel like I can spend all of next year bringing this into fruition, you know, and so it's a plan that's kind of setting the pace for the future. I don't know why I said that, but that's where I sit with it. Okay, when I sit in there with you, I want to just follow your story a little bit. That's nice. All right, beautiful. So Danielle, as I said, when I tap in with your energy, that's exactly that. I get taken to all of this beautiful growth that's there, but I can feel the energy behind it. You know, I can feel the effort. I can feel the journey to get to that point as well. And I don't feel like it's just one particular thing. Like I feel like it's one particular thing, but it feeds off onto others. You know, so like for example, if you start educating ourselves, then it's going to impact on who we are as a person. You know, it's that kind of balance that's there. So the cards that I have for you is grounding. Keep yourself nice and grounded, and it's like it keeps your perspective clear and it keeps you on track. I don't want to say that you get overwhelmed, but it's almost like you know, you've got all of these emotions that sit there, and it's easy to get off track with them. But if I keep myself grounded, I keep my perspective, and it's like it just keeps me moving forward. Bigger picture, long term, beyond self and moments. And I want to say to you, really focus your energy towards that. Don't make decisions that are easier for today, but rather for that long term. Even if it means we've got to walk an extra 10 kilometres, you're going to be grateful that you walked that extra 10 kilometres, okay? You've got the female card that sits there, and what that card talks about is the things that you are trying to put into fruition. You're the main drive of that. You're the engine, you're the motor, you're the one that's going to make that happen. And one of the energies that always comes in around this card as well is, say for example, you know, as we're going along our journey, we need this person to do this and we need this thing to come into place here. Even though we're relying on an external to come in, it's going to still be you. So you've got to chase that person up. You've got to make sure those plans are still in place, okay? Don't leave it to the universe and to other people to bring that energy in. You've got to, as I said, really be that big motor. I see this big steam engine in my head when I say that. Be open to embracing the changes, you know, and when I hear that card for you, I want to say to you, be open to embracing everything you can be. Be open to embracing that, the possibility that's there. One of the things that I always share with my mentor students when they begin is this place is no room for humble. You know, just be excited, be adventurous, and really just allow yourself to shine and just see what's there. And I want to give that to you as well. Be mindful where your intentions lay, so focus on the positive outcomes instead of the possibilities of what could go wrong, because if we focus too much on what can go wrong, that's kind of where we end up. Your cards just continue to go. You've got lots of love and support around you. It is time to move on, so just be mindful. Don't get too caught in your head, okay? Don't get too caught in your head. Stay connected with yourself, all right? It's a really beautiful energy, and I want to say to you that, like, within 2 years, you could be looking back and just going, wow, everything is like where I want it to be. Everything is what I wanted. And I'm talking like financially, and even just where you're sitting with yourself, who you are. As I said, it's a really mammoth energy that's there. So I hope that you enjoy that journey, Danielle. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. It's been a pleasure to read for you. All right, now I wanted to go to Kate. I will catch up with the comments in a second. All right. Okay, I want to say to you, and I want to just give it to you, I don't necessarily want to go to a particular person or a particular situation. I kind of just want to umbrella it gently, if that makes sense, okay? But when I'm sitting with you and I'm tuning in with you, I want to go to your boundaries, and what I hear is if the boundaries are a bit tighter, everything would be so much better, okay? And so just kind of do like a general check-in that's there, you know, making sure that we're, you know, in this situation here, we feel that we're getting the respect and, you know, the time that we deserve. And the same here and the same here. Equally, make sure you're giving back just as much, you know, but just check in with yourself and really don't be afraid to pay attention to what's, you know, challenging your boundaries, what's making you feel like you're compromising, because that compromise, it's almost like instead of walking 100 steps forward, we're only getting to 80. Okay, so I just want to give it just as a little bit of a food for thought that's there, because I can feel in a general, you've got quite a good energy that sits there, but as I said, that's what they said to me. If the boundaries are a little bit tighter, things would be better. Okay, so I want to leave that there with you. Let me pull you some cards. Nice, okay, so when I pull cards for you, you've got the alarm clock, you've got joy. Okay, let's have a look. Alright, so you've got the It's Time card, and for me that's what that card exactly represents. You know it and you feel it, and sometimes it can feel like itchy skin, or it can feel like things aren't quite kind of flowing the way that they should be, or very much indeed you keep running into a hiccup somewhere with something. Let that be the universe telling you it's time to move on. Stop trying to hold on to that, okay? You've got the joy card that follows with it as well though, so you've got the peace, the happiness and the harmony, and that's why I use joy on that card and not happiness, because to me joy is that enveloping of things, okay? So by taking care of the things that need to be taken care of, this is something that's only going to bring you good, alright? Taken 5, take a minute to regroup and recuperate, and that's where I said just do a little bit of checking in around with yourself. Obviously that's going to pertain to your self-care as well, standing in your truth, your honour and your awareness, okay? Procrastination, of creating delays to avoid action. I can be the queen of that, you know, if I've got things that I don't particularly feel 100% confident in doing, then all of a sudden I've got to do the dishes, you know, and all of those kind of little bits and pieces. So just call yourself out a little bit. That frustration that is there is because we know we're ready to move forward, okay? You've got the Spirit card, which always is just a really beautiful sign that you are supported. You've got all that love and guidance around you, so pay attention to the signs the universe has given you, okay? With that comes growth. Pay attention to your health. That talks about your mental, your physical, every kind of aspect of health that's there, and that's where I say just check in with yourself. But your cards are really positive. You've got the freedom, don't forget that you can catch your goals, and you've got a lot of learning that's going to happen with you over the next 12 months too. And I don't mean just like educational learning, I mean learning about self, and it's, you know what's really interesting actually? The boundary side of things that we talk about that's there, but as I come towards the end of your reading and they're bringing me sort of 12 months forward, I can see that you've actually done that work. And I can tell you as well that there's I want to say a new love that's there, okay? I don't necessarily need to wipe out an old one to bring that new one in, because if it's an old, it just may be renewed. But there is definitely, like, it's exciting, it feels good, it feels solid, okay? So if it's not new, it's definitely improvements. What you need to know most, you've got the male card that's there, that matches obviously connecting in with the relationship side of things, whether that be for a male or a female, but it also talks about calling on your strengths, okay? It talks about seeing things for what they are. If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, then it's a duck, okay? Really asking you just to sit back and take that into account and ask yourself where you are, and just remember you got this, you're strong, okay? This is a good energy. As I said, I feel like I just need to do some good housekeeping, and it's going to that heaviness or that feeling that's there. It's like I can just get it and go whoop, and it's gone. Okay. So Kate, I hope all of that helps. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. It has been a pleasure to read for you too. All right, let me just catch up with the comments for a second. As I said, guys, please feel free to comment more than once. You are absolutely welcome to do so. Just don't smash the page, obviously. And guys, just remembering as well, the Tarot and Oracle courses are on this weekend. I also do psychic and mediumship classes each week. Monday and Friday. Fridays might change, okay? But Monday and Friday at the moment is the psychic classes, and Tuesday and Wednesday is the mediumship. And there's just blah, blah, blah. Have a look on the page, you'll see if you're interested, or send me a message. All right, let me catch up with the comments. There's heaps of information on the page too. I didn't mean to go blah blah blah. Okay. What time is it? 8:38. Just let me catch back up the time. Oh, so that's in there about there. Oh, thank you. I put a different base eyeshadow on. I was like, oh Jesus, that's a bit sparkly. So I'm sparkly. All right, what have we got? Ruby, Caro, Ruby. I'm not sure how to pronounce your surname. Hi Liz, would love a reading for some guidance with what's going on at the moment for me. Beautiful. Okay. More weeks. Okay, so I want to say to you first up that I feel like what is around you with what you're referring to at the moment, okay, to show me that it's like a bubble and I'm sitting in that for about several more weeks. Okay, but I can already, it's almost like even once the energy of it's passed, there's still consequences, for want of a better word, that are kind of riding it out, you know. You know, like when you slap yourself, silly, but you know, you get that initial sting and then it sort of starts to fade away. You know, it's like that. It's like the aftermath, I guess, is a want of a word as well. Let me pull you some cards and have a look and see what's up, bud. What?
Just looking at that.
Why? What's wrong? Okay. Joys of autism. He's looking at a photo of his older brother and sister when they were little, but he's getting more upset. Alright, let me focus. Ruby. So yeah, that's what I say around the bubble side of things, but let me just pull you some cards on there, okay? I don't feel that I'm walking away from this with everything that I walked into it with, okay? And I can feel that hits onto me. That we wish things didn't quite need to be that way, but that is the way that things need to be. People's choices, you know, sometimes people's choices are just that. And it's, I mean, even when we know that they might not be the greatest choice, it's still the choice that's been made and we have to honour that. And so when I pull your cards, you've got the Stand Strong card, just remember him again, like you've got this. And I do want to enumerate with that, you do have this. I can feel the heaviness, like as far as like the emotion side of things goes, but I want to say to you though that you do very much so pick yourself up on the other side. You've got the female card there, which is just reminding you, you know, stick with your guns, stick with the energy of what you know is right, okay? Be mindful not to put yourself in a position of self-denial, so don't compromise more than what you feel is fair, okay? Your worries and doubts, and I always say, you know, with your worries and doubts, if we look at them like a big pie and someone says to you, if you eat this massive pie, you know, your worries and your doubts will you know, all be dealt with, and we kind of look at it and go, I'll throw up everywhere if I try to eat that pie. And so breaking it down into pieces, you know, we have a piece for breakfast, a piece for lunch, a piece for dinner. And if we treat our problems with the same, taking them one challenge at a time, it doesn't feel so overwhelming, okay, and gives us more clarity to sort of step and work through. Keeping yourself grounded, that's always really important. Don't mind my little fella's hand there. You've got the alarm bells there saying it is time, okay, you know it and you can feel it, okay, it is time. Looking at the situation and just accepting it for what it is, okay? If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. But as I said, with it, I see lots of beautiful growth around with you. I can see the uncertainty and the confusion, okay, but just keeping the balance that's there. What you need to know most for yourself right now is there's a lot of external conflict that is around, but just be impatient because it is coming to a completion, okay? The completion will come hard and fast as far as it goes, and even though I'm referring to like feeling that's there, there's that initial feeling, that build up that's there, okay, and that's where I want to say like hard and fast, but straight after the completions comes new beginnings, okay? So very much so I want to say to you, just keep honouring yourself through this process, keep sticking very much with your truths, keep sticking very much with what you know needs to happen, okay? Think about what the greater good is, not what kind of hurts. You know, I don't want to feel this way now, so I'll hold on, okay? Don't do that. Let the situation ride as it needs to, okay? You will step away and you will only be stronger for it, okay? I can see as well, once all this is cleared around you, I want to say to you, even though it's not possibly connected, I guess, but I just want to clear that away. And when I do and I see you moving forward, they say to me as well, there's a lot of financial growth around with you, so it's almost like we get to pull our security all back to us, okay? So, Ruby, I'll leave that there with you. I hope all of that helps, and thank you very much for joining me. All right. Just want to give the cards a good shuffle. I'll leave that up there while I still quick shuffle. So psychic and mediumship classes, guys, are good for beginners, advanced, those that are looking to become professional. Basically, it's just a really great opportunity each week to join together with like minds, practice some exercises, practice some readings, learn some new skills, learn how to enhance the skills that you've already got. All of those kind of wonderful, beautiful things. So if you've got any queries, give me a call. But if you choose to do psychic and mediumship, both classes in 1 week, I will discount the classes, and you can book out 4 classes for $115 discounted as well. But you'll need to message me for that too. So please feel free to join me for that. They're on every week. You do not need to come every week. You can come when it suits you. There's no commitment. There's no minimum, no maximum, no nothing. It's all come as you please. All right, so let's keep going. What time is it? 8:44. Yes, bud.
I want to do this, but I don't know. I don't want anyone to see me.
They won't see you.
How? How?
Because I'm over here.
They don't see you.
No, it's okay. Sorry, guys. Alright. Let's go with the rubies while we're here. Ruby. Another ruby. Let me do a reading for you, Ruby. Got that song in my head. Ruby. Alright. Alright, Ruby. I know you've had to be very patient. And I know you can see a little bit of an end line to that. I know it's not looking exactly how it was a couple of months ago, and there's been a lot of changes around it, but your patience is all good, okay? Your patience will pay off. Okay. Ruby, when I sit with your cards, okay, automatically I want to go to work and all of those kind of little bits and pieces that's there, but when I pull your cards, I actually don't. I want to go personal, okay? And so what I want to say to you is just be mindful that you're looking after yourself lately. It feels like you've been a little bit ragged off your feet, and there might just be, you know, concerns and worries for others that you're kind of dealing with at the moment and stuff like that, which is all cool. I know that you carry all that stuff well on your shoulders, but just make sure you're taking some time for you as well. But I feel like there's something playing on your mind that's beyond the work side of things that's there, okay? And it's like a niggle. It's like a niggle. Something's not right. And I know that you know what that is, and I want you just to kind of pay attention to that. It doesn't mean that it's irreparable, but it means that the attention needs to come. It's almost like, I know I use lots of metaphors and things like that, but you know, if we've got a little fire burning, we can walk up and kind of, you know, blow that fire out. But if we let it go, you know, depending on where it is, it's going to keep growing and getting bigger and bigger. So let's put it out while it's little, okay? So don't be afraid to kind of raise issues with people that you're in relationships with around you about the balance, okay? Don't be afraid to. Don't be too hard on yourself though. Make sure that you've got that own balance with yourself as well, including how you're speaking with yourself and, you know, all of those kind of little bits and pieces that are there. It has been a crap ass last few months, and I mean, that's the only way to describe it. I know that some of us have been able to kind of cruise through without too much impact, but others, you know, including myself, have been massively impacted by all of this, and it has a toll. And so I just want to kind of say to you, just take a moment to breathe. Take a moment to breathe, okay? Check out, you know, you've got the Where Are You card, Ruby, and when I sit with that card, it generally calls in and just asking you, like, where are you? You know, like, is everything that you're doing right now taking you to the place where you want to be, you know? And I want to gently call you out on that a little bit and kind of just look at that and go, you've got, I know I've sat with you before, so I know that you've got that drive. I know that you've got that passion. I know that I can see what sits there for you. So I just want to check in with you and just go, if there's been a little bit of disillusionment over that, for whatever reason, you know, spend a little bit of time shaking it off and bring that energy back to you, okay? Keep your focus on the bigger picture. Keep your focus on the bigger picture, okay? It's yeah. All right, take it a moment. a little bit of heartache, challenging matters of the heart around you, and that's where I say I can feel that sits there. You've got the worry and doubt card as well, but as I just said to Ruby, break it down. Deal with one thing at a time rather than looking at everything and going, oh my God, okay? You've got the beautiful spirit card that's there around you, so you've got all of that support, but you need to look after your self-care. All right. So Ruby, I've got that there for you. I hope that helps. Don't be afraid to call it out, okay? If things fade away from us because we do that, then they're not meant to be there. All right. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's the risk kind of that we've got to be prepared to take to be able to stand completely in our own truth and honour, okay? So, looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It's a duck. Alright, let's catch up with the comments. I would love to know if you see me moving, if so where, just about anything coming through. Okay, beautiful. Megan, I have no idea where you are, and so you've only got to drive in a car with me for 10 minutes to know that I'm logistically challenged. So I'm going to work on distance as opposed to location, okay? Because, yeah, I have no idea where you are. I'm not going to try and work it out. All right, so would love to know if you see me moving, if so where, or just about anything coming through. So I'll pull you some cards as well. The move side of things that's there, it doesn't feel like there's enough energy being put towards it to actually bring it into fruition right this minute, okay? It's like it's a snowball really slowly going down the hill, okay? So yes, I can see a move sitting there, but I kind of want to go several months ahead, really. If you need that or want that to become closer, I want more energy here. I want more, yeah, we're moving, kind of energy that sits there, because otherwise it just feels like it's, yeah, as I said, like a slow moving kind of ball. When you move, now I feel like there's I actually want to put, I feel like there's a significant move in place. Like, I don't feel like I'm within 45 minutes of where I am now. And I know 45 minutes isn't significant, but hear me out. Because it's like I'm sitting and tossing between, do I stay here or do I go, okay? And so the option will be there to do both. And if you stay here or go there, here, as I said, I'm feeling like you're about 45 minutes away from where you are now, okay? And I keep wanting to go like up and that way, which is opposite. So for you it's that way. So what's that, right? Up and right. That's logistically, mate. I'm terrible. Don't ask me what north, south, east and west is. I don't know. But that's where I want to go. What I want to say to you though, otherwise, like as far as the bigger distance goes, that's like, I feel like 3-4 hours. Yeah, understand, okay? So that's where I'm sitting on. There needs to be more energy on this to actually bring it into fruition. All right, so let me just pull your cards as well and I'll see what else comes through. You've got to make sure everyone's on board around you as well, okay? Because it's like perhaps that snowball's feeling a bit heavy because you're carrying everyone else's energy with it as well. Everyone's got to put in the same, not just desire, but the same momentum, the same effort. All right. Yeah, interesting. When I sit with you, I want to say to you, I keep getting some family tension is what I'm feeling around, okay? So for whatever that looks like for you, and I'm going to keep it just as that, I just want to share this with you. So when I pull your cards, you've got the clearing out the stables, which talks about out with the old and in with the new. And you can see on this card that's there, I've specifically put a big pile of shit. It's shoveling out the shit. It's out with the old and in with the new. But, we've got to do this without having all of the answers, because that's part of the lesson. That's part of the journey. Part of this is about connecting back with yourself. It's like, I don't want to say you're disconnected from yourself, but life happens in between, and we kind of, we're either a mum or we're a boss or we're, an employee or we're this or we're that, we're a wife or a partner, all of those kind of bits and pieces, and within each one of those things, a piece of us kind of gets left with it, and I just feel like you're pulling all of that back into, and in order for that to happen, this journey is part of what makes that happen, okay? You've got the sunset card, which talks about, but tomorrow is a new day. And for me, for the most part, what this card always reminds me of is that, it's been great, it's been a journey, there's been good parts and bad parts, but at the end of it all, I'm tired. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to move on, okay? And so that's where that energy sits. A little bit of uncertainty around it, but keeping yourself grounded. Now, I want you to be mindful around you. I feel like, you know, it could just be like family politics and all of those kind of little bits and pieces. So definitely keep it in the context to which it applies to you. But you've got the wolf in sheep's clothing card, okay? And that's exactly what that is. And for those of you who have seen this card, it's one of the newer cards in the deck. It's probably the last card that completed it. And it's the only card without writing because I feel like it speaks for itself. You know, narcissistic behaviour, people saying they'll do things and they don't, people stabbing you in the back continuously, people not being there for you when they say they would, all of those things. So just keep it in the context to which it applies, but pay attention to it because it's not going anywhere, okay? Unless we kind of remove it away or step away from it. So pay attention to you. Pay attention to you, your long term. You know, you've got the health card there, which talks about not just mental health, physical health, spiritual health and emotional, it's everything, okay? Pay attention. You need to make, it's really encouraging you to make a decision here, okay? So you've got my yes card, and when that comes down in the deck, that's what the emphasis needs to be on, is making that decision. Making that decision on choosing your direction, because this way is not working for you, okay? This way does not work and it is not going to change, okay? When we do that, it's beautiful. You get the new beginning straight in and you get the improvements of self and situations that's there. So we need to make a choice here. And then, you know, especially if the moving side is part of the process in this, as I said, throw that energy into it, okay? Don't be afraid to make big changes because, I can see already that you're not going to regret it, okay? Just taking a moment, gratitude and rest are needed. Just looking after yourself and bringing in a little bit of joy, okay? You've got the worries and doubt card as well. It's 3 in a row and it just says, you know, again, take your problems one at a time. You know, deal with this and then deal with that and then deal with that. When we try to deal with everything at once, it's overwhelming. Everything gets a half effort and we end up compromising ourselves even more, okay? You really need to call on your strength, but you need to let go of the things that are binding you. All right, it's time to let go. And again, it's made an appearance a few times tonight. Stand strong, you got this, you know, and again, this is one of those cards that I put the writing different on the bottom because it is, when I made it, it was like, you've got this. It's got that energy, it's like, you've got this, okay? So, Megan, I'll leave all that there with you. I hope that helps. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. You've got a really strong intuitive energy around you as well. Trust in that, and it's going to serve you a greater purpose that's still yet to come into play, okay? So, enjoy. Enjoy. All right. Carlissa, sorry. Any guidance from me would be appreciated. Any advice is my love life situation. Dr. Love. Alright. Sorry, just want to give the cards a good shuffle. Alright. Let me pull your cards before I speak. Like you got, it's a moon. I'm being crude. I thought it was a banana because we're talking about love life. I've got a warped sense of humour. You'll just have to ride with me on that one. Nice. Okay. Yeah. Alright, what I want to say to you, okay, with your love life situation in particular, I feel like there's things to be salvaged here, okay? So if we're talking about a new relationship coming in, I want to say to you that salvage needs to be with yourself. If we're talking about existing relationship, that salvage needs to be within the end. But what I want to say is virtually the same. And that's, you know, when we accept and we embrace and we just trust, and we trust in our own strengths, and we trust in that our energy will bring a person that has those same strengths, those same trust and those same qualities that are there, then we have this opportunity of growth, okay? I feel like we're spending too much time worrying and allowing insecurities and all of those kind of little bits and pieces to kind of, you know, get in our own way, that it's fogging what we see. Now, you've got the external conflict card that comes out in your spread as well, and as soon as I put that card down there, they're like, yeah, she needs to leave other people out. And it's not just you as a conglomerate, you know, other people interfering and all of that kind of energy that's there is definitely not going to serve any purpose. I always say, even if that external conflict is coming in the way of advice, okay, it's not sitting as advice, it's sitting as a conflict, and that conflict may be just being created for you. And so, you know, unless someone's doing it, unless someone has succeeded in doing exactly what they're giving advice about, then they kind of, you know, they can give guidance and all the rest of it that's there. But, you know, be really mindful about where you take your advice from is what I want to say with that, okay? You've got a position of self-denial and that will take you nowhere. Self-sabotage, refusal, being stubborn, all of that energy that's there. It's a gentle card. It is a gentle card. What it talks about, and it's a bit hard to see that one, but what it talks about specifically though is that not denying yourself, okay? Standing in your truth, standing in your honour, standing in your awareness and just calling things out to be the truth. Grounding and making a decision, okay? So very much so, especially if this is around a current relationship, do the work and just, you know, get yourself back onto track. I don't feel that, yeah, I definitely want to clear stuff away from me that's, yeah. See, as I keep pulling, you've got all the detox cards. Okay, yeah. I don't like really using the word toxic unless, you know, I'm in a position to be really specific with it, but it's definitely the word I kind of want to use here. And in the context of what I want to use it is, again, just that, you know, just checking around. And it's not necessarily particularly between, say, the love life situation, but those around that are impacting on the love life situation is my bigger concern right this second. As it comes into the actual relationship, as I said, when all the energy's cleared away, I feel like I want to smile and I feel this big pressure taken off of my chest, and I feel like we can just be if we allow ourselves just to be. Alright, you've got the change of light card that's there, talks about energies are shifting for the better. But this way is not working and we need to let go of what is no longer serving us. And you've got the detox card for that, okay? This has been brewing for a long time, and if we don't deal with it, you'll see, you know, it'll blow, much like a volcano blows. That's why I put a volcano on it. What you need to know most is exactly the same. You need to clear out the stables and you need to move forward and let this situation come to a close. And again, you've got the sheep in wolf's clothing that's there, and that's portraying straight to the external conflict card. There's people around you that don't have your best interest in heart, and even if they do have your best interest in heart, then they're not honouring themselves enough to be able to be given guidance and advice, okay? As far as I said, when it comes down just to that love side of things that's there, I feel good, I feel positive, I feel like I just need to clear the energy away, stand in my truth, stand in my convictions, and all of that pressure just disappears and I'm able just to move forward, okay? So definitely stick with what you know to be true, alright? Because that seems to be the answer and the key here. I hope all of that helps. I hope that helps. Don't throw things away that don't necessarily need to be thrown away, okay? Like, I'm trying to think of a metaphor, I can't think of one, but the problem isn't here, the problem's here. Alright? So I hope all of that helps. Alright. Time's 9 o'clock, beautiful. Been that kind of week, and I'm not saying that it's just the last couple of days that you've been feeling unsettled, Megan, but it's just been, the energy this week has been really unsettled. I've noticed that. For any of y'all that have been feeling that. Apparently there's like a million planets all lined up or something. I'm not astrologically educated enough to tell you about that. Alright, Vegan, let me focus on you. I'm just unsettled. Current situation, do you see any changes ahead? First of all, I want to say to you, make sure you're honouring that unsettled feeling. Like, and I feel that you are. It's telling you something is not right. And I feel that you're honouring that, but just in case, yeah, let me be that validation behind. Changes ahead. These are changes that you will instigate, okay? It's almost like ignorance is bliss, and so I don't feel that you're in that component, but I feel like the situation around you is in that. I feel like it's a stuck culture, so to speak, okay? And so I don't really see a lot changing or shifting around with that. It's almost like I see brown and I see noses, so I'll leave that side of things there. But what I want to say to you is that the changes, do I see any changes ahead? I see changes ahead if you instigate them, okay? And this will be like a 180 change. It won't just be a step into the side, it's a turnaround, okay? So, for example, if it's to do with work, it'll be you getting a different job. If it's to do with relationships, it'll be you really kind of calling out all of the truths, okay, and bringing them up and just allowing that to all the cards to fall on the table. So whatever it is that's there, it's the changes that you instigate within it, and it will fix. I want to say to you, it will fix. It'll move you on to where you need to be. I want to say to you, even if the particular situation in which we're reading isn't to do with work, I keep getting taken back to your work, okay? And I'm sitting tight, and I want to say to you, when I continue to pull your cards, you've got the prosperity card, and the energy and the message that I get through that is that it's almost like, you know, if we've got 20 years of experience, we're getting paid at 10 years worth of experience, or we keep getting promised promotions and they don't seem to happen, or we get promised pay rises and they don't seem to happen, or whatever else that it is, you know. And I want you to kind of just pay attention to that, and if it's fine and everything's working right now, fantastic, okay? But if it's not, just know that it's the same thing I want to say with there as well. It'll be changes you make that will actually allow that to come in, and it won't be where you are, okay? So just keep that in mind, alright? And again, it's not a negative situation that's there, you know, but if we're kind of wanting to be here and we're only here, there's going to have to be some significant changes. Oh, that's never happened before. Nice, okay. So you've got the yes card in the deck, and so when I pull the yes card, as I said, it's the thing you need to emphasise on, and you got the no straight on top of it. So it's like you've been gambling back and forth about taking a chance, taking a risk, okay? And so what I want to say to you within that is nothing changes if nothing changes, alright? So with that comes improvements of self and situations. You've got the completion card that's here, just having a little bit of patience, but then you fall straight into that prosperity card. We need to confront our fears here, and that is about going, you know, kind of, oh, can I do this? Oh, will it work? Oh, what if? You know, and just kind of dealing with all of that and taking it on the head and rolling with it anyway. Procrastination will serve you no purpose here. You know, creating delays to avoid action, okay? Don't let that get in your way too much. And allowing the healing to come in too, and whatever way that looks like. What this card talks about is, you know, being patient but allowing the healing to come in, because what healing includes is, you know, forgiveness and all of those kind of little bits and pieces. And forgiveness is such a challenging thing because, but, you know, it's about sort of saying, what I want to say is forgiveness isn't about saying, you know, what you did was okay. It's just saying I'm no longer holding on to that energy. And in order for us to heal, we can't look back on situations with resentments or hurt or anything else like that. And so we need to kind of bring ourselves to a place where that no longer applies. And I want to be really mindful as I say that, because I understand very personally healing can take a really long time, okay? So it's not about going, oh, you know, just put those feelings there and don't have the hurt anymore and don't have the resentment and just, you know, just push them away. I understand there's a bucket load of work that comes in with that as well, okay? But that is what I want to leave that with you. And so for what I want to say to you, for what you need to know most, beginnings and endings are in natural order, okay? Where are you card, and again, this is calling out, where are you? Is everything around you as it should be? And if not, what can we start putting into place to change that, okay? Being positive, your attitude is a choice. And that is, you know, on a rainy day, we can sit there and get soaking wet, we can put up an umbrella and go dance in the rain, you know? It's our attitude towards things is going to make a massive difference. And just trusting your intuition. Trusting your intuition, okay? Very much so. If this is situations around you, and including the extra we wanted to talk about, looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Alright? So I hope all of that helps. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. Alright. Again, let me catch up with the comments. Where are we at? 9:06. Let me just get this currency moving too fast. Alright. Beverly, thank you for everything you do. You're welcome. When do you see a new job for me? Now, as soon as I saw your question, Beverly, I actually wanted to jump online. Okay, so I know like we might be looking for a specific kind of job, but if we're looking just for something, you know, as a job, any job at this point in time until I get to the point of where I want to be at. Because this is what I feel like I'm sort of sitting on something that's a little bit more temporary than permanent. And it's not that the job itself feels temporary, I just feel like it's a feeling as opposed to a long-term thing. But I kept seeing you, not necessarily working online, but I see you with a phone in your hand. I remember the old-fashioned phones. How old am I? But I'm seeing you on the phone, and I feel like you're either doing like a customer service role or like a call-in, or those kind of little bits and pieces that are there. And as I said, I feel like this is something that I can grab onto fairly quickly, and it just meets my needs for the time being. Okay. I don't feel like I need to time on that. I feel like I just want to say to you, go out and find it, and it's like 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. You know, it's that kind of feel that's there around it. Absolutely, I know it's not like what I envisioned that I was doing or anything else like that, but I just want to say to you that it comes up straight away as a feeling. On the long-term prospectus that's there, okay, what I want to say to you is that there's more than one door that kind of sits there, and I feel like you've been thinking about making a couple of changes around yourself as well. But think about the experiences that you've had, and think about what you've been through in life. And I'm going to say something, and I don't want to kind of say this is what you have to do, but I keep getting the word counselling with you around and around and around and around and around and around and around. Even when I'm picking up the phone, I still keep getting that word in the back end. And again, I want to be mindful of the word. I'm not saying you need to go up and study and just blah, 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 okay? But think about the experiences that you've had in your life. Think about what it is that you have to offer others, okay? Because I feel like within that there's a caring role, job title, such of things that we can work towards and have, okay? So there's a couple of options that are there in that regard. Now, obviously, there's option number 3 that just sits in and goes, okay, well, this is what I've done, this is what I'm looking for, and this is what I'm going to go do. If I sit with that energy that's there, I still feel like I'm sitting on about 4 or 5 months before something else comes into play, okay? So, option 1, option 2, option 3. Basically, is what I want to hand you that's there. And in life, you know, there's all choice, and I'm glad that all of those choices have come and sat up for you now, okay? Yeah, which is nice. And as I said, if I sit here and just pull cards as I'm talking to you, the same energy's coming through as well. So Beverly, that is what I want to give to you this evening, and I hope that helps. All right. Let me just catch up time-wise here. Malane, I hope I'm saying that correctly, and if I'm not, please accept my apologies. I'm still going to read for you even if I feel like I can't say your name. I'm an energy girl. Alright. I would love a reading and some guidance, please. I've had a fair bit going on lately. Okay. You know, I want to say to you, I don't want to take away anything at all from everything that's been going on, but that's what it feels like. It's like something's been going on here, 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 and here, and it feels like it's stuff. So, like, I want to use the word stuff with a lot of respect, because, like, oh, it's just stuff. It's not what I mean at all. It's like there's stuff here, there's stuff here, there's stuff there. But what I'm wanting to get to with using that word is that it's just, you know, okay, boom, we'll deal there, boom, we deal there, boom, we deal there. I'm not feeling all of these things coming together and creating a massive issue moving forward. Does that make sense? Okay, it's like I'm stuck in this moment, I've got to deal with it, but it's not a forever thing. Forever thing just sounds like an exaggeration, but you get what I'm trying to say there, okay? Within all of that, I feel like you're like a middleman is definitely a word I want to use, but a piece of taffy, you know, you kind of sit here and you stretch here, you stretch here, and you stretch here. But I want to say to you that you feel like you're handling yourself quite well. I know that you might not feel like that every single day, but I want to say to you that your balance seems to be pretty on par as far as managing between all of that. Just make sure there's a little bit left over for you on the end of the day as well. Now, I do feel like it's almost like I'm, 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, and I want to say to you that there's within that 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm not saying there's 4 things exactly, but just within the different areas, there's at least 2 things there that it's like, I can only do so much and then I'll have to step away. So just make sure that we're not kind of holding on longer in situations than what we need to. With the other bits and pieces, as I said, it just feels like management. You know, there's a lot of micromanagement and stuff like that that's going on, okay? So within all of that, I just feel like I just want to go, everything's fine, like everything's going to be okay. Not that everything's fine, you get what I'm saying, okay? Let me pull you some cards on that, because I know that that's all fully broad, but I don't feel like I need to nut down into specific details because there's not like this, oh no, or oh, you know, it's just like, check this chick out, you know, she's rocking it. You know, that's the energy that sits around it, okay? Let me just, check this chick, you know what I mean? Let me just pull some cards around for you. It can't be everything for everyone. Just keep that in mind as well, okay? Can't be everything for everyone. Alright, so uncertainty, confusion and doubt and clouded judgment. And look, as I said, when we've got several things going on at once, that certainly makes a lot of sense. Now, you've got the crossroads card there, which talks about decisions, choices and direction, okay? Now, within that, it's interesting, when I put that card down, it's almost like, okay, once I've dealt with this and this, there's actually this choice to be made, okay? Make sure you're making choices that are for you and not for others within everything, okay? Within everything. You got the balance card, as I said. Be mindful of your balance. Have a little bit of patience. Something wrong. Okay. With all these situations. You know what I get? And it's probably a weird way to describe it, but I just want to say to you as I close out, it's like, you know when you're a kid and you get told, you know, if you want to go out and play or whatever, you need to clean your room, or if you want to go out and do this, you need to do this, this and this first. That's what it's like. It's like I've got a list of chores that I've got to run down. I just need to take care of these things here, and then I get to go out and play, okay? So make sure we're not delaying, make sure we're not procrastinating, make sure we're dealing with things as we need to, as the way through, all right? And as I said, that's kind of a sin. It's like, yeah, well, cool. Once we get all of this, we get to go and play. And it's interesting. I keep seeing you moving forward, moving on, moving forward, moving on, okay? So I do feel like once all of this dust is settled, even if it's just like the dust settling even over the year as well, I do keep wanting to put in a move around you, okay? And it might not necessarily be a residential move, but there is a move that comes in. So if it's not residential, it's work, okay? There's a move that comes in. There's such a big energy. There's a move that comes in. And it's you. It's your decision. It's you moving forward, all right? So I hope all of that helps. There's a kick in energy in that as well. I'll just share that with you too. I hope all of that helps, and thank you very much for joining me. Alright guys, I've got time for probably 2 more readings. So I am definitely back next week, and guys, if you want to join in on the tarot and the oracle courses this weekend, and all you have to do is jump online and book, but if you have any problems, just text me. You can send a message to Facebook, but I can't promise it's going to get through by the morning, so text me is better. You'll find my number all over my Facebook page. Alright. Alright, let me catch up the time for the license. You're very welcome. Very, very welcome. Oh, stop moving. Oh my god. Alright, Louisa. Would love a card, please. Oh, you're very welcome, Elaine. Very, very welcome. Oh, I'm glad it did, because sometimes when I sit and I read, I'm like, oh my god, I'm confused here. But it's not meant to make sense for me, it's meant to make sense for you. Beautiful, beautiful. Alright, Louisa, let me focus. Such a nice positive outlook on things, and I know we don't maintain that every day, but when I sit into your energy that's there, you can see I want to start to kind of bop a little bit, you know, I get a smile on my face, and when I tap in with that, what I am shown is just the way that you hold yourself up, you know, the way that you care for others, and just your views are from the world. I feel like you're someone who, you know, occasionally forgets, but for the most part remembers to stop and smell the roses, so it's nice, but I feel like there's been some kind of unfair challenges, and I want to use the word unfair because I guess because you do feel like you've got all of this beautiful energy, it's like, hang on, where's this balance coming from? But you know what, in life sometimes it gets a bit icky and sticky and everything else like that, because it puts us in a position where we keep moving and we keep moving forward and we don't get stagnant. And so sometimes things feel like, you know, a punishment or a challenge or a duress, but they're actually like a lesson and a gift and a notion of energy that if we follow, we get taken to, you know, another beautiful place. And so what I want to say to you is your cards. When I put your cards down, you've got the letting go card, which talks about just releasing binds, letting things go that are holding us back, okay? And with such a beautiful energy that hits me so hard straight away, I imagine that you've got a massive level of compassion. So just make sure that compassion's honouring you, okay? Now taking a chance, nothing changes if nothing changes. And then you've got the dead end card, okay? This way doesn't work. And so when I sit with the energy of that, it's like, you know, just let go of what's holding you back. Take a chance, just go for it, because this way it's not going to change, all right? And so not to be afraid to step forward with that. When I continue to pull your cards, you know, you've got the love card, which for me talks about you having done enough work with yourself to have a good level of self-awareness that you can sit in your truth, your happiness and your desire. Okay, that's we've only got to look out. I know I always say it, but we've only got to look out across the world to see how much bullshit relationships are out there. You know, oh yes, he loves me, oh but you know we fight, but whatever. You know, it's that energy of being able to sit in your truth and awareness. That's what that card means. Okay, so when I continue sitting there, I'm listening to myself going, yeah, whatever, I'm going, yeah. we all see it, you know, it's like, why are you guys together? This is no longer working. I'm not putting that over to you, I'm just using the example that you don't get that with this card. Now, you've also got the growth card, which talks about, for me, beautiful personal self-awareness, opportunity, reaching your potential. The tree of life is a massive symbol for me. I've got a huge one tattooed on my back. And so when this card comes out for me, it's just that, it's growth, it's beautiful growth, okay? But you need to trust in yourself. Self-trust and self-belief is where all of this is going to begin, all right? You've got a really, it's funny, with that card there, I get told you've got a really strong business energy, business sense. So I just want to leave with you as well, if you've been thinking about starting your own little source of income or starting a business, and I want to take that word little out of it actually, that doesn't feel like it fits in there, okay? Listen to what your instincts are telling you. You feel like you do your homework properly, you've got the knowledge base and everything else that's there. So if that has been a thought in your head, I want you to honour it. If it's one that's yet to come into play, then please let me leave a feather in your hat right now and tell you that when that energy comes to you, it's nice, it's good. It feels like there's a technical aspect to it, but I feel like you smash it, all right? So I'll leave that there with you, Louisa. Thank you very much for joining me this evening, and I hope you enjoyed my reading. Alright, so guys, I'm going to do one more reading. I've got my beautiful daughter finishing work in 10 minutes. She'll get something to eat, so she can wait a couple of seconds. Again, if you want to join the courses on the weekend, just send me a message or book online. And other than that, I will be back next week for live feeds as well. If you want to book a reading with me, you can do so online as well. Just click book now. Video and phone readings are still available. Hypnotherapy and all those kind of little bits and pieces that are there will be added to the services list as we reopen. Alright, Jacqueline, let me focus on you. I got a song in my head, I'll give it to you. I can't sing, so, you know, excuse me. You know that song, you know, Dirty Dancing? When I saw her walking down the street, I said, that's the kind of girl I like to meet. That's all I'm going to sing, because I can't sing. It's a song that jumps into my head when I'm reading for you, so I'm just going to give it to you. Alright, so when I sit with your cards, Jacqueline, you've got the jump card, okay, which talks about, for me, I put this card in, it was like the maybe, you know, the answers are blowing in the wind, lessons within. So what that means is as we move forward, we're not going to have all the answers that we need to, because this journey is going to be fraught with lessons, okay? And that's not a negative thing at all. Some of those lessons will bring great joy, but some of those lessons will also put you on your butt and make you kind of assess and look at yourself as well. And so I feel like that card's just popped out to go, hey, listen, you know, there's still more learning to come in, but you're on the right track, okay? So when I sit with your cards, you've got the Take 5 card, which talks about regrouping, recuperating, being mindful, needing a little bit of rest. Now you've got the completions card that sits there. One door closes and another one opens, okay? Allow that completion to come into play. I feel like that's happening around you now, okay? The letting go, releasing what's holding us back, letting go of releasing those blinds. We just saw that one that's there, okay? Being positive, your attitude is a choice, but you've got decisions and choices and directions. And once you make that decision and choice, you've got that new beginnings that come into play with you. So, just remembering, take a chance, nothing changes if nothing changes. Make a commitment to move forward. There's a change of luck when you do that, but look after yourself in the process. So what you need to know most for yourself is just be mindful of your balance. There's a little bit of uncertainty around, but keeping yourself nice and grounded and keeping moving forward in that way is going to keep you, bring that clarity in. What am I trying to say as well? Growth. Yeah, far out. There's like a, when I sit with you, it's almost like, you know, I've caught you mid-cleaning and it's like, yeah, cool, we finished in an hour and boom, then we're off, okay? So what I want to say to you is deal with what is happening around you right now, okay? In whatever context that is, because I feel like once everything's sitting nice and settled around you, it's like I'm looking at a nice clean slate, okay? And with that slate comes possibilities and opportunities and everything else like that sits there with it. So off the bat, it feels like things have been a little bit hectic over the last 12 months and that things are coming to a close around that, alright? Might not be exactly how we wanted it to be or where we needed it to be, but the opportunity it's presenting on that clean slate forward is going to give us everything that we need. And so I want to say to you, don't, if there's any worries or concerns around with, you know, sort of what the future looks like over the next 12 months, it all falls into place. I want to say that to you with much assurity, okay? I feel like the things that you're doing now are already the right things. But as I said, pay attention to what is around you. Alright, so I'll leave that there with you, Jacqueline. I hope that helps. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. It's been a pleasure to read for everybody. I am off to go and get my daughter from work. I'm looking forward to seeing those of you who join on the tarot course tomorrow. Don't need a tarot deck if you do not have one, and you do not need a Pacific tarot deck if you do have one, okay? This is all about intuition, and so I'm going to teach you whatever deck you've got to read that intuitively. So I look forward to seeing you either on Saturday or Sunday for the Oracle course, and other than that, I look forward to seeing you next week for some more live feeds. Until then, take care, and as I always say, if you can't be good at it. Bye!